Am I supposed to push this? Okay, got it. Okay, I must.
Aha, we are live. Welcome, everybody. We are just now getting started. We have got a fantastic episode for you all tonight with a very special guest. So if you will just hang loose with us for just a second, welcome. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us. Be sure to hit that share button from wherever you're watching so that we can reach more songwriters and connect with them and help them out if we can, and all the good stuff. So
hey man, we appreciate sharing because first show we had like 3 people.
Keep talking, I'm working.
And now, I mean, we're up in the hundreds, and we're hoping tonight we might break a record because our special guest, he has a great following, and so we're looking at maybe a record show tonight.
And he has a brand new song.
Oh man,
I'm excited about.
Yeah, it's just I wish we had 2 hours.
Yes.
We need 2 hours with this special guest.
Welcome, guys. Thank you. If you're just now hopping on, be sure to hit that share button from wherever you're watching, and we'll get started here in just a moment. What you been into today, Cooter?
Out in the sun.
What you been doing in the sun?
Getting a little old ball. I hit it off the ground, trying to hit it in the hole.
You've been golfing, haven't you?
Hillbilly golfing. I mean, hillbilly golfing today.
Hillbilly golf.
No, really. Played in cow pasture today.
Did you really?
Yeah, basically played in cow pasture today. Fun. No, really. Playing in cows getting out of the fence, having to run them back in before we hit,
Sounds like more than golfing.
No, believe me.
Way more.
Well,
Way more. That's a lot for a Thursday afternoon.
yeah, that's all right.
Oh my goodness. Welcome, everybody. We're about to jump in. We've got a very special guest tonight. Be sure to hit that share button from wherever you're watching. And we're going to get started here just momentarily, just doing some housekeeping things, hitting that share button myself on all of the tech platforms. And we appreciate it if you all will as well. All right, let's get started.
I'm Cooter Daniel.
And I'm KristeNicole.
And we're Songwriters Off the Record. Man,
Yeah.
okay, we got big show. We have, when we put this show together, we want to dedicate to songwriters and, just tidbits and little information. We don't know it all, but we're learning, and we learn from other people, and
you learn when you teach.
Yeah, and what's funny about this show is like you never know what's going to happen. Last show we talked about when I worked for Conway Twitty down at Tree International. His office was in Trees, and Don Slits came in, which was he just moved, and that whole story, about the gambler.
And if you missed that story, go back and watch the episode 2 weeks ago, because that was really good.
He wanted to pitch it to Conway. Long story short, and Kenny Rogers, of course, wound up doing it. But anyway, he watched the show. I don't know how he tuned in and actually texted us, and so we've reached out to Don Slits, multiple hits. We looked up all the songs he's written.
He's 26 and maybe more.
So we've reached out to Don, and maybe in the future he might be on. But I was blown away that he came back and texted after I told the story. But anyway, that was cool.
Good stuff. So sharing is caring, y'all.
Yes,
we appreciate it.
And we know that at least a few people are watching and catching on to it. And we, like I said, we are so excited. Now we are, for new viewers, we are on twice a month, every other Thursday, 7:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
And every other show we bring a special guest in, which seems to be a hit for us because that's been our highest rated shows. And I think people enjoy us reaching out to celebrities and celebrity songwriters and
like the behind the scenes stories of how the songs really happen.
Yeah. So we met our special guest tonight. This is one of our special guest nights. And we met this dude a few months ago at the ACCMA, a showcase, the big concert in Lebanon, and man, we just hit it off. Sometimes you just hit right off with somebody, and
Yes.
not only a super talent, but
Just a sweet guy.
man. I mean,
I'm just right off the bat, just so
Wow,
sweet, so
wow.
welcoming to whomever he's around.
well, we know there's at least one good person in the music business. Okay, it's this dude here. Yeah, we got him. We got him tonight. So we're excited about that. Thank you so much for sharing and viewing. Our numbers are increasing every week.
And that's all in because of you.
We are still got a few technical problems here and there, but we're working that out now. Seems like
Hey, we all have technical problems, brother.
it's going smoother, but
Follow me around for a while.
let's get a guest on, man.
Bring him on.
Let's get him on. I love this dude. He's not only a singer-songwriter, but he promotes, he has record labels. He does it all, okay? He does it all. And I'm anxious to know a little more about him tonight. We're going to get to know this guy. His name is Barry Lee White. Hey, Barry Lee.
Well, howdy ho there, good neighbors.
We're doing good, Barry Lee. How you doing?
Well, like the future song you and I are going to write, not bad for a hillbilly.
Yes. Save that now. You promised me we'd save it until we get time to.
Yeah, it's going to
maybe
happen.
in a few weeks. Maybe we'll see you. I don't know if you're going to the Missouri deal, but anyway, if you are, we're going to be out there, I think. And but anyway, we'll hook up. We'll come to Nashville if we have to. Whatever we need to do.
Yes, sir.
Barry Lee, I know you've been in it. You've been in it like me. We've been in it a while. You know, we've been in the music business. I feel like a lot of people, especially songwriters, they get frustrated after a while because, you know, they don't get cuts and they this kind of thing. And I've always kind of had this passion so much for this that even through downs, I have kept that passion. And I know you're the same way. I mean, just talking with you and knowing a little bit about your past, you've kept that passion, hadn't you, for the music business?
I have. This is my 35th year in the music business as a professional, and I've had a heck of a ride. But I feel like I'm just getting started, kids.
I think that too. I was telling KristeNicole, you know, it's like this whole new, and we'll talk about this more as we go, but this Christian country, positive country movement with this genre and just the movement itself is just growing and it's sitting there just ready to explode. You know, we talked about, you know, venues to play. I think is something that I hope we get more and more in the future, you know, but it seems like this. My first question tonight is though, how did you get started and kind of when did you get started in the music business?
Well, here's another song for you and I that we'll have to finish one day. It's called Long Story Short. I know.
See,
I know. I don't know where to go with it. I've had it for years, but you probably do. But just like you both, you grew up, listen to music, listen to your favorites. Mine were back before the internet and all that stuff. But Mac Davis, he had a show on TV that I was just mesmerized by because he would write a song right there in person.
Somebody would
with
give him just an idea, wouldn't they? They would give him an idea and he would write it.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably used to do that, but not anymore. But I watched him, and then Waylon came out and Dukes of Hazzard and all that. But then one of my other heroes, Hank Jr., came out, and I'm like, you know what? I could probably do that. And I watched Randy Travis come out, and you know, some others, and then I just knew that that's what I was supposed to do.
Right. Now, did you move to Nashville, or did you live in? When did you kind of move to Nashville? Right, get into the Nashville scene.
Funny thing, I had been going back and forth to Nashville since 1990.
Right.
There was a show that one of the old Sawyer Brown boys, guitar player, hosted. It was called Be a Star. Well, I went down, auditioned, made the show and everything, and then they canceled the show. But that was my second trip to Nashville. But in the process, I was shopping songs. And one of the songs that I was shopping is one that Randy Travis had on hold. The Dixie Chicks, Leanne Rhymes, you can have on hold, but it took a couple years. But that was the first couple trips. So I've been back and forth to Nashville, many years before I got my deal. In '96, I finally got a deal. One of the guys from MCG Curb had saw me open up for Johnny Cash.
Right.
And I guess he liked what I was doing, but he invited me to come down and do an audition with Chuck Howard. I didn't have a clue who Chuck was, but he had just broke and produced Leanne Rhymes. He was working on Hank Jr., Billy Dean, John Barry. I had no clue. So I just said, okay. And Lori and I, we took the flight and everything, and needless to say, it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say it did.
That's awesome.
I was crying like a baby. The first song that came out and came to us in the studio with the pros, but it worked out.
What song was that, Barry?
That song was my first single in country radio when I was a country artist. It was called Between You and Me. You're gonna make me cry again, Cooter.
No. So
that song called Between You and Me, well, it means a lot to me, but that's what got me to Nashville. And so on my first country record that I cut after MCG Curb folded, was on my first record, That's Me. That was the first song that on the record there. And that was my first single, and we did pretty good with it in country. We had a couple more on that, but the Lord, he wanted me to do something different. So here I am.
That's
Christian
awesome.
country.
We've spoke about this before on our show. The general public doesn't realize how hard it is to get a Nashville record deal. I mean, it is almost impossible, isn't it, in a lot of ways, So that commends you of having a deal. And I know so many really good artists that I've known that never got a deal, never got a deal, and very talented people. It's hard to get a record deal.
Cooter and Kristen, it is. And this was something, I mean, some people call it a Cinderella story, whatever, but that's what got me to Nashville. And though it didn't work out with MCG Curb and everything, he had other plans for me. And I'm going to tell you, I want to pray with you folks too, as we go along here, that no matter what happens and what comes at you in life, whether you're in music business or any business or just your life, there's going to be things that get thrown at you and things that hurt you and disappoint you to the core. When I got that letter that MCG Curb was no more, and I was supposed to be next after Shane McAnally, you probably know who he is. Well,
yes.
Well, they put him out as an artist. I was supposed to be next, and then gone. So how do you face that, deal with that? That got me closer to God. And
yeah,
we prayed about it. Lori and I prayed about it. We didn't know what to do. We took our little kids clear across the country. I don't know if you know or not, but I'm originally from Spokane, Washington State. That's over by Alaska.
Oh, wow.
And that's quite a trek for a family with, little kids.
Yeah, it is.
But you know what? It all worked out And I just thank God that he was watching over us, and he had guidance for me, because we, as humans, we lose that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Absolutely.
I don't care how old you are, how young you are, everybody loses their way. Well, this was a wake up call for us. And so we prayed about it. What are we supposed to do now? Here we are, 2,300 miles from home and stranded. Should we move home, or should we do something different and try to keep in the music business? What should we do? Well, in our conversation, I told Lori, I said, we got to get back to square one. And square one was meaning back on our home turf, where before moving to Nashville, we had a band for 7 years. We opened up for Hank Jr., Johnny Cash, Boy Howdy, Keith Urban, all kinds of stuff. And I thought we got to get back to square one. And we were talking about it, and I said, I wonder if anybody has a record label called Square One Records. And this was before internet even. And so I got up next morning and I said, well, if it's available, that's what we're supposed to do. And it's available. So we trademarked it in 2000. It took 2 years to trademark it. I didn't know what I was going to do. All I knew is that I had the gift, just like you two have, and any other songwriter out there, whether they had any hits or not. I don't know where you went. Wait a minute.
We hear you.
We hear you. We can't see you.
Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know how to fix that.
You're
Safe
good.
driving
Keep
mode.
talking.
It says safe driving mode. I'm not driving.
You're good. We'll rock on. So, when did you? Was there a moment that you were like that you felt like an official songwriter? Like, was it after you wrote your first song, or was it after the first one went big? What was the moment that you went, "Wow, I'm a songwriter"?
Well, that song that I was telling you about, that I kept going back and forth to Nashville before he moved there. It was a pretty good indication that I was a writer, because one of the first rooms that we went into in Nashville shopping that song was a little building on 16th Avenue that eventually became MCG Curb Records, right by Curb and the two other buildings and Word and all that. Well, when they flew me down for the real thing, I ended up in that same building. Not only that, but the same room, office room.
Oh, that's weird.
Where I shot that song.
Oh, God.
And what is bizarre is it was the same studio where Randy Travis had cut a lot of his songs. And at our wedding, I sang a couple of Randy Travis songs, but most importantly, it was a song written by a Curb songwriter that I had no clue about that, back in the day. But my first day on the job as a songwriter, there is Troy Seal's song hanging on the wall in the first writing room that I ever wrote in my whole life. A song called "I Won't Need You Anymore." And that's kind of when I thought, oh, I think I'm doing something right. And, a song that lives forever. And I'm grateful that I've had this opportunity and this whole adventure, whether things didn't work out the first time around, I think we're doing okay. And I feel blessed.
I think you are too. Now you have a current single out now, right?
Yes, sir. We got one out now. And it's kind of funny. I surprised my record producer, who used to be my creative producer at Curb. And he's written songs for Leanne Rimes and Kenny Rogers, Dottie West, Merle Haggard. Anyway, he had a lot of hits. And he shared over the years some of his songs. In fact, I've cut 4 of his songs. One of them you already know. It's on my first country record. It's called What You Are Inside.
Oh, yeah.
But this song that we cut, I had an extra hour in the studio when we were cutting songs on Blake Helms. And Jeff Tweel is my record producer for 30 some years now. Anyway, he's had these songs, and I thought, you know what? He's always trying to surprise me. Well, I thought I'd pull one over on him, and I cut the song that he gave me years ago, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I actually got a chance to produce and do something to surprise him. I never expected that it would be what it is, but it's a great song. And
now, what's the title of it?
What's that?
What's the title of that song?
It's called Where Are You Taking Me?
Yeah, right.
And what's funny is I had no clue what was going to happen with it. So we cut it a couple of years ago when we were cutting Blake Helms, and it kept growing on me. And then my engineer that does all of our records for everything I've ever put out, Blake's put out, Scott Mac Brown, and in the future our other artists, Dan Frizzell. He is one of the Waymasters. He's one of the brothers, and he surprised me because I told him, I said, on this song of Jeff's, I said I want some harmonies, kind of like the Eagles, something like that. He said, oh, okay, I got you. Well, there they are. So everything you hear on that record, background vocals and all the cool parts, that's the Waymasters. And
it's a fantastic song. I know it's going up and really getting a lot of play. So and we wish you well with that. Let me ask you something, Barry, because me and KristeNicole, we deal with this. When you're writing song, having writers show you some material, pitch you songs and stuff, what is your criteria for picking singles, radio song, a song? What is your thinking process when you're listening to songs, and is it just like picking the best song you think, or is it kind of the feeling that you feel like, oh, this would be a good radio song, how do you pick stuff like that?
Cooter, as you and Kristen both know, when you play live, you have a great opportunity to test out your new songs. And
exactly.
I was a country artist. I played you name it. I mean, I opened for Diamond Rio, all kinds of cool stuff. When you play something new, you got those folks in the palm of your hand, and you both know, and anybody listening that sings and plays knows when you got something that moves people and that will make a mark. And so that's number one. Cooter is, live.
Test it out live.
I play it live a couple times,
Yeah.
and sometimes, it might be with my band, and sometimes it might just be me with my guitar. I like to do that once in a while. I watch Hank Jr. and I watch, some of my other heroes that I've, kind of grown up with. If you can hold a crowd with just you and your guitar and make them cry, make them laugh. I mean, you've got something, you're doing your job. That is the first step for me, picking out songs. And then I'll be honest with you, the second step is after we pick a song or 3 or whatever, we have some friends and family and stuff all over the world that we'll send the song to that aren't musical people. They don't play. They don't sing. They just listen. They play the radio. And that's very important because ironically, this current single right now, Where Are You Taking Me? We didn't know. And to be honest, I didn't think it would do anything, chart wise or even get airplay. But several people, in different countries said, you know what, that's a great song. And so sometimes Cooter and Kristen, looking outside the box, and I live outside the box, but getting ears that aren't in the business or play or sing, that's been a big key for us, because at the end of the day, those are the folks that love you on the radio, that'll come see you wherever you play, and they love you. And I'm not in this for accolades or awards or charts or anything like that. We're saving souls, and if we can do that with what you and I, Cooter, Kristen, and all these other artists that are doing right now, that's our job. And this world is so lost, and it's so much need for what we're doing. I just feel like it's perfect timing for all of us. And
I think it's a whole new avenue to reach people that maybe are unchurched or people that's had bad experiences, and we're giving it to them just with a country sound or a positive message. And I think it's working. I really do. When we first got into it, Kristen was we were trying to figure out what genre, should we be in and where should we go?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this Christian country, it's where we're at, man. I mean, there's a market that's going to grow. It's not just your cowboy churches. It's going to grow more into the mass media. And there's these people that are out there that want to hear the word. And we're not trying to stuff it down their throats. We're just trying to give it to them in a good way. And I know your music is that way. Our music, we try to strive for that. And that's just good stuff, Barry. Part of this show is educating people from a songwriter's view, perspective. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think songwriters are a little different than the artist. We're more, I don't know, I don't want to say the creative part, but it seems like we look at things a little different when we're writing. And I agree with you 100%. And I'm just thankful that God's using us, that he's using us. And wow, that's just good stuff.
So with all of that in mind, what is your favorite subject to write about, Barry?
For me, it's the Lord, and then love songs. I got a big heart. Most of us writers, like yourselves, we, like Cooter just said, we see things a different way. We feel things a different way. This world needs love, and this world needs the Lord. And right now, it's a perfect time for all of us that sing for him and do what we're doing to knock it out of the park. Because you know what? There's only two ways out of this world. And if we can make a difference, and make, everybody that we sing for, or everybody that hears us, to go up, we've accomplished our goal. It's a crazy place. I can't even watch the news anymore because it upsets me, but it's just, we gotta share the love, and we gotta sing about it. We gotta sing about the Lord.
We really do. And the love part is so needed. Like you said, we try, I know Kristen, she's very particular about being, going to the Bible, getting direct Bible references before we write. I mean, here I am just throwing out all kinds of lines, and she's saying, slow down a minute here. We got to make sure that we're biblically correct. We don't want to be throwing something out there, just our own opinion. And I think that people are relating to that, that, hey, you give them some truth, you give them a reason to believe. Wow, I'm like you. I feel like, we're all on the same page.
And
This
Cooter,
Christian country thing,
Cooter,
Mary, positive country. I know you're a big, I look at you, you're kind of like us, but you've been really one of the starters now of this Christian country genre, positive country, whatever. Where do you see it going?
I see it surpassing not only what they tried to do in the 80s and 90s, the positive country thing, they're trying to revive that.
Right.
But I watched that just like you did, Cooter.
Exactly.
And I see it surpassing that, number one, because it's got his name in it. Number two, because it's the right thing to do. And as an artist, songwriter, a daddy, whatever label you want to call me or you or the Christian you, we have a gift, and we have to use it correctly in this world. And I I 150% know that I'm doing the right thing with my gift. Maybe I wasn't doing it, maybe I wasn't using it right before. And Lord has a way of showing you. But I see this thing surpassing even country music, because I can't listen to country music that much anymore because of some of the lyrics and certain things. But I can listen to Christian country music all day long, and I'm hoping that grandmothers and little kids are listening to it too, because it's not offensive. And that's the thing with what's going on with our country today. I'm not a political guy, and I'm not a pastor, I'm not a preacher like one of my artists, Scott Mac Brown, who helped start this whole thing years ago when it didn't work out. It didn't work out the first time as part of this country. We have a job to do, and I just feel like right now we're on the right track, and I'm honored. And with my brain injury that I had 10 years ago, I struggle with stuff, but I know that God has me, and I'm doing the right thing, just like what you kids are doing. And I am honored to be, a small part of this. I don't, like I said, I don't consider myself a leader or a pastor or anything like that. But when, just like you and any of the artists that are listening or songwriters that get emails from other countries or, other states saying, you know what, your song made my day, or it saved my life. I've got a few, Cooter, that you're going to make me cry, but I got a few that I saved a few lives.
Oh yeah, made the difference.
And that's what we're supposed to do with our gifts. And I'm honored to be doing what I'm doing. And people, not only in the music business, but people, they slam us for being Bible thumpers or whatever you want to call us. But you know what? There's only two ways out of here, and it's our job to get them in the right direction. And I'm just grateful. And I made some notes today of the questions you sent me at a time, and I'm probably way off track, but that's just me.
You're totally good. You're right. It does take all of us using our gifts at the full capacity, with our hands on the net. It takes all of us collectively. It's not this or that or one or the other. It's everybody together. So you're totally right. So for our songwriters out there, we always do a songwriter tip of the week. And we would love for you to share one with us.
I will. I put a lot of thought into this, believe it or not. Because my wife will tell you that, are you listening? Yes. But for me, it's a writer writes. And I don't know where I heard that, with a movie or something somewhere, but a writer writes it all down and brainstorms on that subject, until they're blue in the face sometimes, just to, get all the ideas down and everything. And even if it sounds silly at the time, God gives you God gives you those lines. He gives you those words. You write them all down, because you never know where those words might fit into another song. And I've had that situation happen to me many times. And my second tip would be, save all your notes.
Yes.
I
It's pretty ugly when we get done writing a song. It's like, we're gonna set this so we can read it to sing it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I still like to use ink, pen, and paper, Barry. I'm still an ink, pen, and paper man,
No joke. I came in to the writing studio the other night, and Cooter had been working on a song, and he had written all over the entire bottom. I said, "Did you write a new song, or did you modify the one you had?"
I got 8 verses, Barry Lee. I've got 8 verses.
Man,
So,
that'd be like that one song, that ship song that they keep saying, the longest song in history, man.
yeah, well, I think I'm 8 minutes right now. So,
baby down.
Yeah.
Well,
listen, would you do us the privilege of singing a song for us?
I will do that. And, before I do that, I just want to thank you folks. And at the beginning, I wanted to pray, not only for you two, but for everybody that's listening. And if that's okay, could I just say a short prayer?
Let's say a prayer. We'd love you to.
And anyway, thank you for everybody that's listening, and forgive my stuttering and all that, because my past. But it's a great day, and no matter what, God's got us. And Kristen, I got to congratulate you on what you've been doing with your songs and your music. I love your voice, and I love what you're doing. And you're top notch. And Cooter, thank you for being an inspiration for me, because I got a handful of male friends in my life that I could probably count on one hand, but if I needed something, I know who to call. And thank you, Cooter.
Well, it's always, when we say brothers, it means closeness to me, and somebody that you can trust, and I can't wait till we get to see each other in the flesh again.
Yes.
And we are, thank you for saving that hook line. We are going to write, and we're going to have fun doing it. We can't see you visually. So are you ready to sing? Are you? Oh, you're going to pray first. Okay.
Pray first. If I could figure out how to turn this thing back on, I'm afraid if I push a button, it's going.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You're good.
Just let's say a prayer.
All right. Dear Father, I want to thank you for this day and for this time together with my dear friends and all the listeners in the world that are, maybe struggling or not struggling, whether they're in music business or not. I just want to, pray for all you folks and ask that you'll be healed and that you'll feel the Lord's love, because he loves you more than you'll ever know. There's no other love like his. And if he can pick up a hillbilly like me, it was broken so many times, he can do it for you. Never give up. And thank you for letting us, as songwriters, artists, singers, whatever you want to call us, use our gift to lift the world up. music is very powerful. It's been proven, Lord, that it's one of the most powerful tools to help in this world. And thank you for the gift for not only myself, but for Cooter, for Kristen, all the other artists, no matter what the genre is. And I pray that even some of the other genres of music will reach out to the Lord more, because, you know, we're in the end of times, and Lord, you know what's going on. And I just ask you place your hands on all of us that are listening, and even those that are not, and just bless us, Father. And thank you for the special time together. And may we just rock on, because we're here to cherish you, Father. And thank you for this day in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Barry.
Hey, I got.
Are you ready?
I'm ready, and I probably ran a
What
little
song
long.
you gonna do for us?
Well, this is funny. When I first moved to Nashville in '96, one of the first people that we met in the music business was through our little kids. We put our kids into Ezel Harding Christian School. Anyway, this little boy, last name was Goss. And he said, my dad's in the music business. We didn't really know much, but Larry Goss was his name. And Larry Goss was a producer of mostly Christian contemporary artists like Pointy Grace, Swan Brothers. A lot of them I see are crossing over into Christian country. Anyway, he said, come over to the house sometime and play me a couple songs. Well, this was a lot of years ago. And I played him this song, and I'm going to sing for you today. And Larry Goss looked me right in the eye, and he said, son, I know you're with Curb, and you got this country music thing going on and everything, but I'm telling you, you need to cut a country gospel record. That's what they called it back then.
Right.
So here I am. And ironically, this is a song that Curb did not want. When you move to Nashville, you have songs in your catalog that they can go through and put on your exhibit A or B when you sign up to be a songwriter for a record label like that. This is a song they didn't want. And it kind of hurt my feelings. Well, there's 30 of them that they didn't want, but 3 of them have ended up being hit records. But it hurts as a writer. And, that's your feelings. As a songwriter, you put everything into these things. And it's like one of your kids, But anyway, this is a song that Larry said, you know what? That's what you need to do, and that should be a single someday. And well, we made it a single, and I'll play a little bit of it. I know we ran out of time because I talk too much. You know what's funny is sometimes I just don't talk at all.
No, we want you to talk. That's why we had you on here. Well, listen, I'll tell you, here he is, Barry Lee White.
I love you, brother. I don't know how the mix is going to be because I can't see myself or hear myself. But it's called Silent Partner.
Okay.
I don't get down on my knees as often as I should. I ain't proud of all I've done. It's more to know it ain't all been good. But somehow I know deep down that I'm forgiven. When all is said and done, all is understood. 'Cause he's my silent partner. Everything I do, no. Takes me by the hand, watches my every move. When I'm having my doubts, is when he reaches out to me. with both hands. Don't matter how far I wander, he's my silent partner. In these times of trouble, yeah, I can't help but think. If he's disappointed, most everything he sees. So I do the best I can. Every day I'm here. I can't see his face, but I can hear his voice loud and clear. 'Cause he's my silent partner. Everything I do. So 65 hand. Watches my every move. And when I'm having my doubts, it's when he reaches out to me. With both. Don't matter how far I wander, he's my silent partner.
Silent partner.
Man, I love that hook line. Yes. Woo-hoo.
That's deep,
Great
man.
stuff.
Let him be your silent partner, kid.
Yes.
That's deep, man. That's
Man,
good.
it's been great.
Thanks for sharing that, Barry.
Great
Lee.
stuff.
And you got so many good ones. The one you performed down at ACCMA,
He can't remember.
he can't remember. That just shook me all to pieces, man.
Man, you know,
That shook me all to pieces.
brother, that song, we didn't expect that song to do anything either. You know, we put it out on Alzheimer's Day last year,
Yeah.
September 20th, and there's just no words for that. I'm just honored, you know, to be the artist that song will be carried on forever. And there's so many people right now struggling with dementia or Alzheimer's and their families.
That was such a great song.
Yeah.
Barry Lee, how can people, you know, if they want to go hear your stuff and everything, how can they go get to you through the internet?
We are virtually in every digital platform that there is, and even some of the newer ones that people have don't even know about yet. But basically, YouTube, you know, Spotify, and Apple. Apple seems to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it. I don't know, but anyway, we look at statistics and stuff, and I'm amazed of what's going on with not just me as an artist, but YouTube. And you know, you look at some of our
YouTube's-
other artists,
yeah.
you know, out there, Blake Helms, and
Yes.
other artists that aren't even on, you know, our label or any label. This Christian country thing, I'm telling you what, it's waking the world up. And
Blake's doing really good. We met Blake and fabulous talent, and we know that your record label, what is it, Square One?
yes, sir, Square One Records, that's the one we prayed about. And funny
Yeah.
thing is that was 23 years ago when that thing was born, and I was the
Wow, that's
only artist
crazy.
on
It's
it.
just,
You
and
know,
now it's surfacing it. It's all time, all time highs, man, with all your artists. And you know, we got to see some of your artists, and I think your label's fabulous. I think a lot of people don't realize in this business, a lot of us, you know, we don't have the backing of like the major labels in country, but yet these independent labels like yours and where we're on and stuff is just these labels are growing, and it's just an avenue that we've taken to kind of control our own destiny a little bit, you know.
absolutely. And what's even better is I have friends that work for the bigger labels, Capitol and all that stuff. They don't have the freedom that they don't have the freedom like we have to sing about the subject that we sing about. And you both know that this business, it can be, pretty ruthless, but we're at a good place right now. And our little label, it's kind of funny. Somebody told me the other day, he said, your story is kind of like David and Goliath. And yeah, it is. Because if you look at the big picture, we've beaten Goliath because, these are just their songs for the Lord. And that's what this world needs. And it shows the hunger. And it shows that you and me and Kristen, Scott Mac Brown, Blake Helms, Shireen May, any of our artists or any of the other. I love Corey Farlow. I met him at the ACCMA deal there in Lebanon. I love Corey, and there's so many artists that I met there. Sheldon Klein, we're all in this together.
Yeah, we are. And I think once all these quality artists that are coming out, just material and good singers and songwriters and performers, and I think it's on the up and up. Well, Barry Lee, we need another show with you to.
Yes.
I mean, we got so much more stuff we could talk about, and but we do appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, and we will put all of the links for everybody to connect with in the description once it goes up on YouTube.
Check Barry Lee's stuff out.
Yes. Go download his music.
He's got a great testimony, and he's got great music. One of the finest persons that you'll ever meet in the music business.
Absolutely.
And we will stay in touch with you. We thank you so much for being a part of Songwriters Off the Record. And I know everybody's been blessed and has got a thrill to get to know you a little more. And we sure have. And we'll be talking to you soon. Okay.
Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. And, I want to share one short thing before we end here. And I'm sorry about our video thing or whatever. I'm not very.
We're dealing with technical things.
I'm not very technical, and I.
We're growing too. We hope years from now, this show's still going, and we'll have all the bugs worked out, and we can really put on a high class deal. But just the start of this now, and especially with our special guests, has been a big honor for us. We appreciate the prayer. We need more prayers. We appreciate that, Barry Lee, and the kind heart that you have. And we just know that you're going to be a big role model for a lot of people in this business. And you just keep doing what you're doing, and the Lord will keep leading you. And I can't wait to see you again in the flesh, and we'll get up a big hug and hopefully go in a corner somewhere and write a song. Okay.
You both count on that. And let me share. You got to remember something.
Okay.
My story, it was on the 700 Club. It aired August 30th of last year, 2022.
Right.
My brain injury story. 10 years ago, I couldn't speak. I didn't think that I would ever be able to speak or sing or anything again. And 3 years into that, I got closer to the Lord, and he kept, talking to me, and I was so mad that I didn't want to listen. But I encourage you folks, whether you're mad or just not happy with yourself in life, listen to what he's trying to tell you, because you can come back. I'm living proof you can come back. Use the gifts that he gave you, and you'll be blessed. And that's, what? I do stutter still. I do have blank moments still where some days, to be honest, where am I? Okay. It's okay. I know what I'm supposed to do. And I think anybody out there that's struggling, You know what you're supposed to do. Just use me as an example. You can come back from zero. My short-term memory was tested 5 years ago. Zero. I'm talking zero. You can make it back. It takes work and a
Well, you're
team.
here for a purpose. And,
Well,
I
you know
think
what? Yes,
you're
we
here
all
for a
are.
purpose, and I think you see your purpose, and yeah, I just commend you for being strong and fighting through it and not giving up. And now you're reaping the harvest, and I just see such a bright future for you. You're one of the leaders now in this genre, this new kind of music that's kind of hitting, and you're the leader. You're one of the leaders, and I'm just so thankful that we got people like you that's kind of getting out there and doing it, and thank the Lord for keeping you around.
Absolutely.
Well, he has a purpose and he has reasons, and we all have issues, no matter what, young or old. I'm just grateful, and again, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to him. And thank you for your time, Cooter and Kristen. I honor you both.
Well, thank you.
The first time we met, it's like brother and sister, and I look forward to what's coming. And if you guys need anything, you let me know. And I love you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you for being on.
Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Barry Lee White, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you.
Good stuff.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love you, kids. Love you, kids.
I mean, just it was really good.
We could talk to him for 3 hours and not even get scratched, not even scratching the service.
So, when's the next show? And let me check comments.
The next show is June the 29th.
Okay.
And that's going to be a show where, that's not our special guest show. That's me and Kristen, and we got some music for you. We got some new stuff that we're adding, and so get ready. June the 29th, 7 o'clock
right.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
And we will be having some more special guests. We've already got some special guests in line, and man, I'm just Barry Lee's gonna be hard to beat, I'll tell you. He's kind of rung the bell now, so
Absolutely.
I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I love you guys.
Let me see if I can mute this microphone.
Thank you, Barry Lee. We love you, baby.
And
Talk to you soon.
Let's see if I can.
Hey, but love you.
There we go. All right.
Love you.
Moving over to do a quick update. All the things here. Okay, so quick recap, because everybody's been texting me asking what's going on. So which we had mentioned them earlier, American Christian ACCMA, American Christian Country Music Association.
Yes.
There we go. They released their, what month are we in? June chart, y'all. It's just been. We came in at number 20 on their top 40 chart. So thank you all.
And shout out to Bev.
Shout out to
She's
Bev.
running that deal, and man, doing
A fantastic job.
Thank you,
So much
Bev.
for all of your hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
Christian Country Countdown. We are at number 2.
Oh,
So thank you all so much.
Number 1 4 weeks, you did.
Number 1 for 4 weeks. Thank you for the continued support and love and downloads and ads and all of the things on this song. We also have been rocking on IC Radio, which I want to say is in Alabama. They've released their top 50 requested songs. They do it every Friday. Last week we came in at number 15.
Alabama loves you. Now I can't cheer for the football team, but Alabama loves you.
We're not going to talk about football.
No, we're not going to get into all that. Okay?
And on that note,
but I do like Alabama. I mean, we've been driving through it.
We have been driving through it a lot.
Yeah, so we love Alabama.
When's that next show?
June the 29th.
June the 29th. Sorry, he's out of the frame. He went over to the keyboard. Sing us on out, man. Until
we meet again. God knows you, and if your closest friend, He'll make your day a red run. He will make your lonely life and betray. Here we meet again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. We love y'all.